Here's the new version of the former AtomBot. It used to be run by the Intel N270 netbook, hence the name AtomBot, but now it's run by Raspberry Pi, so some form of a Pibot. I still stuck with the 3 multi-directional wheel setup. This time I've added in the middle there towards the pink items are actual springs. Uses a very handmade, might just fall apart someday, suspension system, but as you see, I'm just lightly moving the chassis. The 2 wheels, which I would consider being the front, have the most flexibility, whereas that rear wheel doesn't flex nearly as much. The springs were found at a dollar store. Don't really know too much about them. Just bolted everything together real fast and dirty, as you can see. The balsa wood supports are just to keep the motors in the correct position. Hold them on the sides, give it a little bit of control. It's not perfect. It's very beta. As you can see, even that back motor is not even lined up completely flat with the bottom there. It's very experimental. It's just to keep the electronics on top from bouncing around too much. So we'll move up on top and show you what's going on here. It's a large plastic, I think it was a planter is what it originally was, what it was sold as. I'm not sure exactly what it was. The electronics here, starting on the left, is the Arduino and Adafruit motor shield. It's the retail version. Same one I used ever since the first generation of this robot to control those 3 motors. That's nothing special there. This is a small USB battery pack. I believe it's 4 amp hours maybe. Don't recall. And this is a 12 volt array of AA batteries. The AA batteries connects into the motor shield to give the motors their raw 12 volt power. The USB battery is for the Raspberry Pi. Gives the 5 volts necessary for the Pi to operate. There's the EDMAX Wi-Fi dongle blinking in blue there. Gives us the connectivity to the Raspberry Pi. And this is a boom bug. It is a speaker. It's rechargeable battery in it. It's got pretty good quality sound for the size of it, and it's fancy. It can collapse and bolt in or whatever. But that gives some audio, because I got a little bit of audio going from the Raspberry Pi when we're running the server. Just for fun. That's obviously not very functional in the bot itself. So what we're going to do is pause here and we'll show you the interface to the software before we get it up and running. That's a couple SSH interfaces into the Raspberry Pi. This one here is just the general, where I'm going to go ahead and start the server script. And I also like to have HTOP running just to check out processes and CPU utilization. Not necessary, obviously. I'm using the same AtomBot code, the same Python script for the server. It's the old AtomBot with the N270 netbook. That was Linux, connecting to USB, to an Arduino, to a motor shield. So was Raspberry Pi, except Raspberry Pi is much more power efficient and tinier and just in general a lot cooler. So nothing really has been changed to the code at all, so I'm just going to boot it up.
I'm completely operational and all my circuits are functioning perfectly.
There you can hear the HAL voices that are added into the server on the Raspberry Pi. I just really like HAL, so that's obviously not too important. And then below here, this is just the normal PC I'm connected to right now. This is going to run a client script, and just like AtomBot, you're going to need a joystick, USB joystick. This is the model I have. It's so old, I don't think you can find it anymore. I don't even know how to pronounce the name. Saytech maybe? I don't know if you can make that out or not. Just normal USB joystick. It uses Pygame, so anything that's compatible with Pygame will work perfectly fine with this script. And we'll go ahead and start the actual client itself. And there's not too much supporting, just like AtomBot. M for manual mode will let you the joystick take control of the actual robot.
Ignition, full thrust.
And now I'm going to go ahead and start moving it around, so I'll show you the robot in motion. Go ahead and move it around a little bit. It's kind of interesting to see it start up because going forward you'll see the chassis lift as it starts moving. Strafe, obviously, as you can see, it's not tuned perfectly, neither is straight. There's a little bit of tweaking to be done with the motors. And I think most of that's based on the fact that they're not lined up exactly perfect at the 120-degree angles like they're supposed to do. But it's got some speed to them. See there, it slowed down a little bit, and that's because the wheel in the back, if you're not on the actual green wheel itself, like right there, it's a hard time to get it to pull forward. Obviously you took right off because we're lined up right. There's still a lot of work to be done. I mean, he works basically functional.
The mission has been completed.
You hit the trigger on the joystick in order to cancel and out of manual mode. And that's really all that there is for this version of the robot right now. Because there's work in progress, so hopefully I can add some sensors to get an autonomous roving, really align those wheels to get the best power utilization. But the basic overview from moving from the N270 Intel Atom netbook over to the Raspberry Pi was seamless, amazing. And on that little battery pack and these 12-volt AA's, you can play with the thing all day for hours on end. You don't lose battery. In fact, the actual speaker itself, that boom bug, sometimes I play MP3s through it while I'm playing with it. That battery and that thing will die before the Pi or the motors. So for power utilization, we're leaps and bounds over that netbook. Cool. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions for updates or any other kind of modifications to a bot like this, go ahead and let me know, because all the more information the better. Thank you.